Anybody else? If I Neetu, have you used the kit? Neetu?
Hello. Yeah, I haven't got the kit, sir.
Okay. Okay. Next. Pavitra Shetty. Pavitra Shetty.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Did you use the kit? Pavitra, did you use the kit? To speak. Pavitra, did you?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Pavitra, what did you design?
Sir, 4-bit ಇದು 4-bit count,
4-bit
sir.
counter use ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಾ? ಯಾವುದು 4-bit counter use ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಾ?
ಹಾ ಸರ್.
ಬಂತಾ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಬಂತಾ?
ಹಾ ಸರ್. ಎರರ್
ಬಂತಾ? ಅದು ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ ಎರರ್ ಏನು ಅಂತ?
ಹಾ ಸರ್.
Okay. See, the kit has been sent to use. Okay, don't keep it in the cupboard. I think, Gauri, I request you to kindly fix that acrylic sheet on the board. This is a video from Gauri who has sent it. She has done the 4-bit counter. Hope my video is visible. Guys, video is visible?
Yes, Parameshwar.
Yeah. So this is a Gauri. She has done the 4-bit counter. I think if I go, yeah, I think Deepthi ma'am, she has also done the 4-bit counter. If you see, she has also developed. I think in the group only she has put. And there is one more guy, Mr. Nanda, if I'm not, yes, Ninath. So he has also done the 4-bit counter. So now I have received only 4 videos. I request all the participants to use the kit, whatever the assignments have been given. And while recording the video, I request participants to record with the audio that what you are doing, the changes and all these things. Guys, one request, like whoever is doing the video, we need that if you are changing a switch, we need what you are doing in that kit. I have received only 3 participants' videos. I request all the participants to send the video of 4-bit counter. Shweta, you are there?
Oh, no, I'm Nishant here. Hello? Yeah, you can hear me clearly, right?
Yeah. Shweta is joining?
Yeah, he's on the way, so he will be joining shortly. I will start.
Yeah. So that's what I was just talking to participants in terms of working on the kit. Anybody had any difficulties? Next question is, anybody had any difficulties in programming the kit? Please speak out. Guys, this is not a regular class. This is an internship program, what you are talking about. We need each and everyone to use the kit. Anybody found difficulty in using the kit? My question is, waiting for the answers. Rahul says yes. Rahul, what was the difficulty, Rahul? Speak out, Rahul. Guys, please speak out. Anybody had any difficulty in using the kit? No difficulty. That was the reply on the previous question, okay. Like, how many of you not yet opened the kit? How many of you not yet opened the kit in the 25 participants? There are 25 kits has been sent. How many of you not opened the kit? Guys, let me tell you, We will get the data once you switch on the kit. There will be a data with you. Hello. I request participants to be on the mute if you are not answering. Guys, my question is, how many of you not opened the kit? Let me tell you, we have a record of whoever has not opened the kit and whoever has opened the kit, like who has turned on the kit and who has not used the kit. Could you please record this session? That will help us. Recording will not be possible. We will record the session, but will not be sharing with any of the participants. Okay. Please tell me how many of you not opened the kit. I am repeating, we have a data. I need answers. I'm waiting for the answers. We don't have a time. Guys need an answer. Sir, I haven't got the kit. I am talking about only the 25 people who has received the kits. Anybody who has not opened the kit?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
many has opened that kit but kept aside. No
Anybody,
problem.
anybody who has done that, opened the kit, but you have seen the kit and you have kept it in the beer, means in the locker, something like that. Anybody? Guys, please use the kit. Don't hesitate to use it. If there is any issue, we will take care. We are there to take care of those kits. We want participants to use the kits. Please use it. It is a sincere request. I am telling you, we have the data that whoever has opened and whoever has used the kit and whoever has not used the kit. If you want, I can share you the data. Yeah, Nishant, you can start your session.
Yes. Okay. So in last session we have seen counter, up down counters and different counters. So few of you from you already have did that counters and some LED glowing, so that is very good. So you start exploring, then only you will come to know the things and how it works, what you need to do. So difficulty and problem are sign of improvement. Don't hesitate and don't shy to discuss that kind of problems. Any kind of problem is there, just let us know. We are there for you. And please make sure please make sure you are using data cable, means that micro USB cable which support data. Many cables they come only for charging, so with that you may not be able to program your kit. So if you want to program the kit, you must have to use the cable which supports data. And how to know that? If you have phone, if you connect your phone with that micro USB cable, you will find your device is connected with your computer laptop, and you can transfer and copy share your file from computer to mobile. That cable only useful for this kit. Okay, very good. So come on, let's have interactive session. Few of you can unmute your mic and we can discuss while doing some things. So I will share my screen, and there is some problem. Okay, let me share first my screen.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, very good. So now I am not able to see the chat, so you can speak, you can unmute your and you can speak. So there is some problem in this code. First of all, there are two problems in this code. So please tell me what are those problems. I will explain this step by step. This is PWM generator, and we want to see PWM works and why we need that, and how to use that. Okay, so full code is there in front of you, but there are two problems. I want you to identify those problems. For sure tool will show that problem. Please guys, make that in discuss this. Please speak out.
Hello.
Yes, tell me.
In the process block, you didn't mention the reset signal, but you mentioned
Perfect,
here priority. Asynchronous.
perfect. Very good, very good.
Thank you.
So this is the thing. So now we are using asynchronous reset here. Asynchronous means that reset is before the clock. Okay, it is not checking inside this clock, means not after this if. So whatever the things after the clock we must mention in uh, before the clock we must mention in sensitivity list. So this reset we must have to mention here. Okay, perfect. What is second problem? Very good.
Guys, please mention your name before talking. The person who has identified the first problem, can I know his name?
Yes, sir. Abhijit.
Sorry, come again?
Abhijit.
Abhijit.
Okay. Yeah, Abhijit.
Very good, very good. Good observation.
Hello, sir. There are two end ifs function written here.
Perfect. Very
Yes.
good. There are two and if, but so if you can see clearly, this is if else if. Here we have used else if. So this is altogether only one if statement. So second and if is not required here at all. So perfect. So now this code is ready to build and to use. And what is the PWM? So I don't have a slide, frankly speaking, and I will explain like that only. Instead of typing in front of you, I have just made this code just a few hours back. So this is PWM generator. So what is the PWM? PWM is pulse width modulation. Sometime, okay, let me show you something.
Nishant, your screen is not shared.
Yes, just hold on. I am searching something.
Guys, one more thing I just wanted to make it clear. We are not going to take any attendance or something like that. Like this program, we are not doing for the purpose of attendance and all those things. People who are interested to learn, please join. I'm not going to take any attendance. This is, I'm just making it clear on the first class itself.
Okay, I didn't find anything. So okay, you can see my screen now. Okay, so we'll go with paint. So what is PWM first of all? PWM means a pulse which we can control the things from that. Okay, so let's see. Okay, instead of that I can use pencil. Okay, so see this. Okay, how to, okay, I'm sorry guys, I have to use like this only. Okay, so let's see, this is the pulse. Okay, you can see my screen, right? I will make this bigger. Okay, so let's see, this is the pulse with certain XYZ frequency, and now you want to control on time, or let's say off time. Okay, what is on time? On time means pulse which is 1 for a certain time, that is called as on time, and off time, the pulse which is 0 for time, it is off time. So in our case, this is off time. Okay, this is off time here. Now why we need PWM? First of all, let's say you want to control a MOSFET which is going to motor driver or certain kind of application. For that we must need controlled on time or off time. If we do not have that control on time and off time for specific MOSFET kind of operations, so MOSFET will burn out immediately. So for that, some applications need, like they want certain on time, like they want 50% duty cycle. So this is 50% duty cycle. What is duty cycle? On time plus off time divided by 2, it is the duty cycle. So 50% means 50% on time, 50% off time, and total is 100%. So that is called as 50% duty cycle. So now those kind of application need, let's say 25% on time. So now here, if this pulse is on here and this is going to off from this, so this much of thing they have off time. Okay, so this is 25% on time only and 75% off time. With this, what happened? Few means only 25% of energy will going to transfer from one side to another side. Let's say if you are using your this pulse to MOSFET, in that case what will happen? Only 25% for this frequency, means for this frequency that pulse will be on, right? Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point? Can anybody speak? Hello, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you are getting my point, right? Whatever I am telling. One pulse, and this is for, let's say, assume this is for 1 megahertz pulse. Okay, so this pulse frequency is megahertz, means in 1 megahertz this will be on and off. So with that, only 25% pulse will be on and another 25% will be off. So we are going to do practical, but not me. You have to do the practical right now, and I want to see the result. Okay, so please open your ISE, everyone. Like the process whatever I told you, just open that ISE and keep open, tell how to do the step by step, and we are going to see the result also. Okay, on your kit whatever you have. This is the how PWM works. So this is called as pulse width modulation. Okay, we are not going to change the frequency. So this on time and off time means this is constant. T is constant. This T is constant. T will not change, but on time or off time or both will change. Depends. Means how we use that, how you calibrate that. It is depend on that. So this is how the PWM works. But many times there are applications like they want to change the frequency, not width of this pulse. Many times many users needs, let's say they want 50% duty cycle pulse constant, but they want to change the frequency. That is different things. But here T is fixed, so we are going to see and see on your, okay, these things count. I cannot see your chat, so please you can unmute and speak.
Sir, your voice is breaking.
My voice is breaking. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
What will be the maximum count? Come on, guys, speak out.
Sir, it was not clear.
Okay, very good. I will ask again. So we have this in work,
Nishant, your voice
and
is
there is
breaking,
one
Nishant.
reset.
Nishant, check your
So
connection.
my
Voice is breaking. आपका voice break हो रहा है.
just another.
Guys, in the meantime, let me tell you one thing. Like we are in a development of a zinc board, which is from Xilinx, like a zinc board. So if we found one or two guys very good, we would be involving them in that project, because we are developing on zinc board for image processing, communication, and the video processing applications. So if we found some good guy, we are in the process of taking their help for our project. It will be a paid internship if the people are good in that. So Nishant and myself will discuss that maybe by tomorrow or day after tomorrow with you guys. I request participants to give their complete attention for this complete program. Nishant, is it fine now? and there are many projects we are expecting in development of FPGA boards. We might require few engineers, and we are also planning to come up with a 6 month to 1 year internship program, the paid internship program, where we'll be hiring guys, means so people are students. So I request all the participants to be attentive for the complete this internship program and use that kit extensively. Nishant, it's connected?
Yeah, it's connected now.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So please tell me what is the maximum number of count? What is final count?
128. 127.
127. How 127, madam? Can you please explain?
255, sir, sorry.
Perfect. How 255?
Since it's an 8-bit vector, so you'll have 2 to the power of 8 combinations,
Yes.
and 0 to 256. So, I mean, 0 to 255 will be 256 combinations.
Perfect. No problem. So that is perfect answer. Thank you. So we have final total 256 count for this counter. Okay. And what will happen after 256? It will go to 0. Okay. Since we don't have any condition for that, it will roll over. Means after 256 it will go to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 again, and it will count continuously till reset comes. So okay, what is going to happen here? Can anybody explain me this sentence? What is happening here? If you do not want to discuss anything, I can means directly go ahead and do directly, and I will show everything. Please let me know how you want to go, do this.
Let's not do that because we don't want participants to be on the mute all the time. Guys, come on, guys, speak up, please.
And don't feel if your answer is wrong, so there is nothing, right? But at least you have tried for that.
For the wrong answer.
What?
There is no penalty for the wrong answer, I'm saying.
Yeah, perfect. There is no penalty for wrong answer.
Nishan, they're asking which line. Please select that line.
Okay, very good. So this is the line. We have PWM out here. So what is going to happen with this PWM out? Just I want explanation for this.
It is generating the on time if the PWM is less than duty cycle. Otherwise, it is 0.
Okay, very good. Perfect. So see what going to happen here. It is 1. Okay, by default it will be 1. When counter PWM is less than duty cycle, it will be 1 when counter is less than duty cycle. If this condition goes false, it will assign to 0 to that signal. So means, let's see, our counter is 127. What will happen? If this duty cycle is 127, we will be getting 50% duty cycle. Okay. So how 50%? 127. What we have final count, total count? 256. 256 divided by 2. It will be 127. Okay. So our counter will start from 0. Don't forget that. So that's how we will getting 50% duty cycle with 127 count. Okay. And like that it will be goes on increment and decrement. So we will see the simulation for this. Very important. If you are going for controller and those things, you can find out easily what is the problem. But if you stuck in VHDL or Verilog or any kind of HDL, you have to use your logic. You have to think with the clock. I'm repeating again. You have to think with the clock. Okay. with the nanosecond, whatever clock you have, with that you have to think. Then only your problem, you will get that solution. Otherwise, you must have to use the simulation step. So generally, what people follows, they first write the code, then they will see the functional simulation. What is functional simulation? Means our functionality is okay. We are getting all the functions, all the output as required in simulation. So let's see how simulation works. If you see here, there are two types. One is implementation and second one is simulation. Okay. So in simulation, you can see something is changing here. If you go for implement tab, so PWM generator. So I'm using same my old project and this is that file. But if I go for simulation, I have added that test bench for this. So what is test bench? Test bench is the certain line of code which will pass the stimulus to your actual code which you want to test. Unit under test. Okay, UUT means test, or people say DUT also, design under test. So this is how we are going to give clock to this module. So this will be continue, and here you will find some different things which is not totally allowed in synthesis and in implementation. Okay, this code we cannot implement. This code we cannot implement on our hardware. So and synthesis implementation tool will give error because we have used here wait for. This is not for synthesis. This will be used only for simulation. So we have assigned here clock. Okay, and reset. Please see here clearly, reset 0 after 100 nanosecond. What is before 0? Okay, so we have by default assigned 1. So this is how we assign default condition, means power on condition, you can say. Okay, so after this we have given clock, we have given reset. Now what we want to give? We want to give duty cycle. How, what duty cycle I want? So I have not calculated anything. I am just randomly giving 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Okay, so our PWM pulse, this pulse will going to increase by 10 count. Okay, let's see how this will happen. So how the simulation we have to do. So with this, in this only we have to add the new file, same VHDL file, and we have to use like a test bench. We have to assign this. So here nothing, no input, no output, right? Entity, no input, no output. You can see here, this is only for simulation. And what model we want to test, we have insert here, instantiated. Okay, and we are going to pass the signals. You are understanding my thing, right? For this, we have to click on simulation here, and you can see simulation behavioral model. So if we double click here, it will run and one another window will open. And it will take some. So till now, if you have any, you can open to us.
May I come in?
Yeah, please ask what thing. Hello. Do you want to ask something?
Sir, am I audible?
Yes.
So basically, test bench is a platform where
we are giving where we are providing software signals like kind of a test, and that we are providing it to the design so that we
Yes,
can test it like kind of a
right.
simulated.
Hmm. Right, right.
Am I right or wrong?
You are right, but see, we here we don't have any hardware to test, right? Hardware means we don't have here a hardware connected with our system. We are just checking functionality of our code, right? So this code, whatever we have written, we want to check the functionality. Is it functionally okay? Is it we are getting expected output or not? So for that we need to write the test bench, and for that we need to assign, we need to give proper input, then only it will going to work, right? Without it will
Right.
not work. So how we can know our code is working or not? Without input it will not show anything. So only those things we are giving as an input through test bench, and we are seeing what will happen if I am giving this input. What will happen if I give this clock? What will happen if I give reset after certain clocks? Like that things we can verify, right? So this is how.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other question? So after clicking, yes.
Sir, Dipti here. Sir, just
Yes,
I
ma'am.
wanted to ask, is there any option for test bench waveform?
I didn't get your question, madam.
Sir, earlier we used to get the test bench waveform kind of thing, wherein we need not to write this particular values to the waveforms there. We are able to see the output that we are seeing
Oh,
right now, just a minute before window was shown. So is there
yeah.
option there in Xilinx, this ISC 14.1?
Yes, yes. I understood what you want to say. So see, uh, there is one option. So let's say I I have this model to test, but somehow I don't have time to write test bench, or I do not want to write the test bench, whatever. So in that case, we have to follow, and with that we'll open this waveform. Same thing, but here we have to forcefully. You can see if I right click on this clock name here, force clock. Okay, with that I have to specifically give this clock and values whatever I want. Then it will assign, it will think as okay, I have supplied a clock. Same way I have to give reset. Same way whatever the duty cycle I want, I have to give it to that, right? So without that it will not work. You want to ask same thing, right, madam? Forcefully. So this is called
Yes,
as
sir.
forceful
Yes,
selection.
sir,
Yeah,
forcing. But sir,
yeah.
from where see that window that has not changed that screen speed? When you were explaining that thing, you forcing the values. That
Okay,
case, the
so
window was not changed, sir.
yeah, I will explain again. So you can see this current window. There is we'll see all the our input: clock, reset, duty cycle, PWM out. Okay, so here I want to force the clock. I want to change the timing, or I want to give some different clock. So here you can see my screen, right? So here, if you select that signal particular, you will see 4 clock. Okay, you have to force this clock here.
Okay, sir.
Without test bench only we have to do it, otherwise it will conflict. If you are writing test bench, no need to do this, all these things. It will run automatically. And test bench is I also don't like, but yeah, test bench is very good, very good. Once your design is going bigger, so test bench is must. Because every time, let's say I have 1,000 signals in my top entity, so I cannot give 1,000 input in by forcing the things, right? It will take half an hour for that. So instead of that, writing test bench is always good. So let's see, now we have I have run that test bench, and I come to this point till now. Okay, so now I will you can see here this option, run for the time specific on toolbar. Okay, so now I will run this for one, not one. Okay, let's see, millisecond, and I will run for 10 millisecond. Okay, okay, I have run for millisecond now. Okay, and don't forget to minimize this waveform. Here minus sign is there. Okay, zoom out. So once you zoom out, you will see many things, right? So once if you do this first time, you will obviously you will see, okay, nothing is coming. So but everything is there. You have to zoom out that. Then only you will see the clear things. Okay, let me. Yeah, now I think it is better, right? So okay, see now. I will change X. Hexadecimal. Okay. So see here, how to see is there my output is correct or not? How I know that? Okay, see now 10 means what is expected here. My PWM output should be 1 and it should be 0 at the count of 10. Okay. Okay, very good. I didn't add that counter. So as I'm running this is from test bench, so I have to add that waveform from our unit under test. Okay, just I have to click here and add to source, add to waveform. Okay, where is that? Add to wave window. Okay, I got that here, but I'm not able to see counter value. Okay, so in this case we have to restart. So this is sign restart. I have restarted that because we have added that waveform after some time, so it is already run, so I am not able to see that. So once we run this again, okay, wait a second. Yeah, you can see. So okay, I have zoom in that everything. So this is my first pulse after reset and all this timing. Okay, so okay, here I will change this radix to unsigned decimal. Okay, so what is the thing I have given input duty cycle 10, but I am here. It is, can anybody tell me? Come on
Hexadecimal.
fast. Perfect. So while doing simulation or anything, you have to keep in mind which radix you are using. Okay, so many times we may think, okay, it is not working right, but everything is there. Just we must have to use same radix while comparing, while checking the things. Okay, so it is same. 10 in hex, 10 means it is 16, right? So my pulse will start from 0 and it will go to 0 on count of 16, right? See, so we will jump to next pulse again. So how to do that? So okay, next transmission. See here, this is again same thing is happening. Okay, 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 see now it went to 32. Okay, what my test bench is saying, after 10 what I have given 20 means 32, right? So this is happening, right? Okay, are you with me? Okay, so I will not explain further. See,
वेबएक्स फार स्लो चालतंय ह्याच्यावर. त्यांनी तिकडून स्क्रीन चेंज केली की माझी स्क्रीन चेंजच होत नाही. प्रोसेसर याचा ग्राफिक कार्ड याचं. बस.
okay. So till this window, you see what is happening. I think you might be feeling it is very difficult, or some things you are not able to see clearly. But see now in this, once I give duty cycle as a 16, you can see this waveform, this pulse, okay, pulse out. So I think I can change. Okay, now, so this yellow waveform is my output. So on time is here slightly low with the 16 clock of that clock input, and here if you see it is 32 clock of input, 32 numbers, right? So it is double than previous. You can see clearly, right? Are you with me, guys? Are you understanding what is this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So same thing, I will move forward. See now, we'll compare here. So for 48 it is double than 32, right? Not double, but yeah, at least bigger than that. So same way it will goes on increasing. So this is how PWM will works, right? You can see. So this is how PWM works, and now we want to you to do it this everything. I will share the code, and I want you to do this everything and pass this signal to your RGB LED, or you can use any LED. But all of you implement like this 3 PWM. Okay, here I want you to implement 3 PWM and use different value for each PWM duty cycle for each PWM, and pass all these 3 signal to RGB LED, and you please see what is going to happen. You will get so many different color than if you power on, you will see on 7 to I think 8 color you will see. But if you use this PWM, you can generate any number of color, right? So this is how means wavelength will change, PWM will change. With the PWM, LED intensity will change, brightness will change, everything will change. So as it is 3 color LED, using 3 color you can generate many number of colors, right? So I want you to do this experiment at your side and see if you are going to decrease the PWM, what is going to happen. If you are increase the PWM, what is going to happen. And I want this as early as possible. So please do this and see what is going to happen. And this is very useful. You must need this. You must need to do this. You will for sure, if you are working or if you want to in this field, you need this forever. So till now, if you have any question, any doubt, I can repeat that. Please go ahead and ask. Don't hesitate. Are you there?
Sir, can you show that button through which you have started that simulation?
Very good. Yeah, just so here in tool you will see implement and simulation. Okay. Once you implement, you will see implement, synthesis, generate file options here. Okay. But if you click on simulation, you will not see those options. This will be by default, it will be like this. You have to open this plus sign and simulate behavioral model. So you have to double click on this. But for doing this, there is one more condition. If you have another simulator, like there are many simulator, you might know, Questa sim, Model sim, and all those things. But those cracks you may find somewhere. But if it is not there, this free simulation iSim is already installed with Xilinx this ISE, and that only we are using right now. Okay, iSim. So like this setting, it must have to be there in project setting. By default, it will be like that. But if you change somewhere, please make sure it is like this. Without, it will not work. So once it is like that, you have to go in simulation, and then you have to click on top file. Okay, see now, here there are two options. If I want to do the forceful simulation, like I explained, I want to force the clock and all these things. So if I click on PWM generator model, and if I run the simulation, I need to forceful all the signals. Okay, but I have test bench ready, so I must have to click on test bench. Always while doing this kind of operation, you must remember, you must have selected your top file, and then you have to click on simulation. If this top file is something different, it is not test bench, then it will do simulation like that. But as we have written test bench, so we have to click on test bench, then only our test bench input or stimulus will go to our model, whatever we want to test, right? So I have shared this PWM code in chat box. Okay, so I want you to implement that on board, and I want you to check that. Also, you can do one thing. In this, you put another counter for this duty cycle. I'm explaining. I'm not going to do that. I'm explaining. So what you can do? You put another counter for this duty cycle count. Whenever you you press switch, this count should be incremented by 1 only. Okay, please remember that. Once you, let's say there are 4 push button on board. Let's say if you push button one time and release that, this counter should be incremented by 1, again 2, again 3, again 4, and with that you will see your intensity of that LED, whatever output this PWM out you are giving to that LED, whether it is RGB or any different LED, intensity will increase slowly. Initially, if this duty cycle is too low, you may find that your LED is not glowing at all. So please make sure by power on you give at least 50% duty cycle. Okay, so if you see in this my test bench, I have assigned, where I have assigned, okay, see what I have assigned here, 128 or 127. Okay, start from 0. It is like that. So if you do like this, you will come to know all the concept of PWM and how it works, what you need to do, and all different things. So till now, if you have any doubts, please ask and don't hesitate. Are you there, guys?
Can you give that test bench code also in the chat box?
Very good. Yes, definitely. Very good. Please copy earlier code and I'm pasting that test bench code. Sir, for duty cycle we have to use what? Okay, what? Switch button? No, push button will be better for this. Push button is good option. Yes, you can definitely use that. What is that? Another DIP switch or slide switch, but it will be hectic for you. Change every time that off on off. So instead of that, use push button. Okay, I have pasted a test bench code also. I didn't understand your question, Ninath. RGB LED color are function of PWM. I can you repeat please? Can you unmute and speak, Ninath? Okay, very good, Shivam. You found the link, I think, on net. So I don't want like that. I want increment by +1 only. One count. Ninad, are you there? Can you please speak out? Okay, any other question?
Sir, I think that the test bench code was not copied fully.
Yeah, not copied. Okay, please ignore that earlier. I will copy again. Let me see. Okay, it is copied fully.
No, the entire thing is not there in chat box.
Okay, I think there may be some limitation. Okay, very good. There is some limitation for number of lines for putting. So what I will do, instead of that, I will divide in two part. Okay. So how I will divide in two part? Okay, see, till begin I have sent, and another part I will send. Okay, I think everything is there. So Ninad, if can you please speak out? We'll discuss your thoughts. Your mic is not working. Okay, very good, no problem. So RGB LED color are function of PWM. No, it is not like that. So any LED can be function of PWM. Function means you can give this PWM value to any LED or anything you want. Like let's say if there is a DC motor, let's say there is fan. Okay, DC motor, you have connected one fins and you want to increase fan by certain number of amount. So once you give this PWM signal to DC motor, specifically for DC motor, if you increase your on time, your motor will on for more number of time each time, right? So got the and goes with DC motor. Okay, so yeah, so same thing. This whatever code we have written, this thing you can give it to DC motor also, and RGB LED or any kind of LED also. So if you give to LED, your brightness will increase slowly. If you give to DC motor, your fan speed will increase slowly. It is like that. It is depend on you how you test, how you work, what you connect. But as we have RGB LED and other LEDs on board, so you can test with LED, and it is really beautiful if you use 3 PWM with a different duty cycle on RGB LED. You will find different colors you got generated for sure. Okay, any other things? Any other question, guys? Hello, are you there?
Guys, any more questions? Yes, got okay.
Sir,
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm Rohit. Sir, could you explain how to use Zenix plan ahead?
Plan ahead. Okay, very good. So first of all, why plan ahead is required? Okay. So I will come to that point, but I have few slides for you. I will come to your question. I got your point. So Sridhar sir, I will continue, I think, fully today. So guys, please give me 2 minutes. I will show something. If any questions, you can ask till this time. Anybody feel like that? Why need to use FPGA? Why not controller? Anybody has like this question? No? I'm surprised actually. Why we want FPGA? Why not controller is sufficient for few kind of operations and like that? Do you have anyone has a question like that? So I will explain. Otherwise, I will skip that and we'll continue. We'll focus on our PWM. Okay, let me explain, Ninath. Please make this interactive session. Okay, I will explain only this one slide. Okay, I'll skip. Okay, can you see this? Please somebody unmute your mic and please speak with me something. I am feeling I am explaining to myself only. No one is there. Can someone unmute first? Please, our time is running.
Yes, sir, please continue.
Very good. Please be on unmute only. So see, why we want to use FPGA? So there are so many answers for these questions. So I am explaining step by step. What is FPGA? You can read this slide clearly, no problem. So FPGA has CLBs, which has LUTs. LUT means lookup table. Okay. So for that, this CLB and LUT we can use as a configurable block, and we can design any kind of logical and sequential circuit in FPGA. It also has input output blocks, means same pin can be used as input, same pin can be used as a output. So whatever board you have, there is no input only pin on that connector. All pins can be as a input or output. It is depend on you, how you set that. Okay, we also have block RAM. So what is block RAM? I will explain shortly. So we have digital clock manager. Okay, so few of you might have doubt. Okay, I have only 12 megahertz oscillator on board. So what can I do with only 12 megahertz? Alright. So 12 megahertz is not only. So we can use this digital clock manager IP, DCM, and we can generate any frequency we want. Let's say, give me number what you want. You want 150 megahertz. Okay, let's use this. You give input as a 12 megahertz and set this digital clock manager as a 150 megahertz. You will get 150 megahertz for sure, and this is free of cost available, as I showed earlier also. Okay, so this is how FPGA. So I came this later purposefully for this slide. Okay, so all this gray part, whatever you are seeing, these are CLB, configurable logical block. So in this, whatever things you write like AND gate, OR gate, or etc., that code will go to this CLBs. And there is hardcore block of DCM, and there is block RAMs and multipliers. You can see here at the bottom, block RAMs and multiplier. So we have hardcore block for multipliers and hardcore block for block RAMs and DCM. So what do you mean by hardcore? And so we have here IOBs. IOBs means input output block. So hardcore block means this DCM, block RAM and hardware multiplier. So if you do not want to use this DCM, if you do not want to use this block RAM or multiplier, that space is already consumed by this block RAM and multiplier with that block, right? You cannot use this space inside FPGA for some another purpose. You cannot use this DCM space for writing your AND code or some logic, right? But if you see this CLBs, this CLB space you can use for anything. You can write your AND gate, OR gate, LCD, ADC, whatever function, whatever code you want to write, you can use these CLBs, right? You can use this space, not like DCM and this block RAMs. So that's why this is called as hardcore block. To give perfect example, I will give that in next slide. Okay. So I hope you have understood this. So this is how IOBs are situated at the corner of FPGA. So these IOBs are connected directly to your pins. So what is this IO capability? So do you know our FPGA is can work on 3.3, 2.5, 1.8, 1.5, 1.2 volt also. So it is depend on our voltage we have given to our bank supply. So each FPGA, every family of FPGA has minimum 3 number of banks, 3, and if you go higher end FPGA, we may have 6 to 10 number of banks. So for that, each bank has separate power supply, separate voltage power pins. So if we give one bank as a 3.3, another bank as a 2.5, another bank as a 1.8, another bank as a 1.5, so like that we can use whole bank, and we can use 3.3, 2.5, 1.8, like that. You got my point, right? Are you getting? Okay, so these are some different standard with high speed memories required: HSTL, SSTL, LVDS, and these kind of standards we can use in FPGA. So these are many different things inside a Spartan 6 FPGA. Skip that, don't worry. So this is just a number of IOs and FPGA block diagram, I mean table, and sizes, packages actually. Okay, very interesting topic. Okay, tell me now, why we want FPGA and why not controller? So see guys, so you must have used already controller, right? You 8051 or any lower end FPGA, lower end 8051 or 8086, 8085, those kind of controller or processors has sequential operations. If you compare with ARM, I'm not sure till now in my life, till now I have never used a controller. Okay, I have used FPGA only till now. So for that, see what happens if you compare with ARM. I think, I'm not sure, but I heard that ARM can have facility like they can threading till 2 or 3 instance, I think. But if you see in FPGA, you can do parallel processing, sequential processing, whatever it is. It is depend on your coding technique. It is depend on your need. It is depend on how you write the code. So there is nothing sequential or parallel in FPGA. It is everything. You have given blank slate and write however you want. It is like that, right? So also in controller is not so flexible. So what do you mean by flexible? Let's say in any controller you have UART core, right? UART, or let's say timer is there, but you do not want to use that UART or timer, and you want to use that with SRAM or some kind of memory kind of operation. Is it possible to use? Is it possible to use? No, right?
No, seriously, dude.
So it is not possible to use that space inside a microcontroller like UART or timer. That things you cannot use for some another application or another your purpose. But if you come to FPGA, we have CLBs, we have blank slate. Write whatever you want and erase it, rewrite it. We can use that, right? Of course, microcontroller has low power, so few microcontrollers can work with less than, I think, 5 microampere. It is there, yes. But as FPGA has more number of resources, so many different IOBs, number of pins, so it need more power. Of course, controller has lesser development time. You can do everything, copy paste. Like if you go for Arduino, everything is, all libraries are available. But in case of FPGA, you have to see the everything, like step by step simulation and all implementation, everything you have to take care. So Of course, time required is more. Easy to solder means it is many controller has DIP package also, but I think till now there is no FPGA with DIP package. So, but a controller has lesser number of IOs. So I think in biggest controller has I think 400 or 600 IOs. But if you go for FPGA, there is 1200 to 2020 number of IOs FPGA are available in the market. So there is no competition between FPGA and microcontroller. Of course, you can put controller inside FPGA. I'm repeating again, please concentrate. We can put controller inside the FPGA. How controller is designed? Earlier, whenever you want to design some things, they are using discrete ICs like AND gate, OR gate, those kind of IC, and they build a whole circuit. Then they test. Now, how the people are testing their logic, their controllers? So they build a code. They build a code using VHDL or Verilog, and they put inside FPGA, and they simulate everything. They test on hardware, and then there that core they go for fabrication, and then they build for microcontroller, right? So that is the process. So that's why we can put controller inside FPGA. The FPGA has many soft IP for controller also. This Xilinx has Microblaze, Picoblaze also. Picoblaze works with assembly language. Microblaze works with C language. Of course, once you put that Microblaze or Picoblaze, it takes some block RAMs out of your FPGA. It consumes that actually. So it is how the things are there. So I think okay. So this is the actual design flow for your project. Let's say you have one target, so you see the your budget, what things you can use, then design your schematic and or hardware, or let's say apart from that you can design your RTL code, simulate that, then synthesis that, then check functionality. Is it functionally proven? Means you've got all the function whatever required, and then this translate, implement, map, place and route, this step will follow automatically. Then check timing closure, then timing simulation, then this is a bit file. So this is how bit file got created and we put in the FPGA. Okay, so this is the thing. So someone just now asked plan ahead. So if you see in FPGA, we just saw there are many number of CLB, configurable logic block. So configurable logic block has MUX, AND gate, and XOR gate, and or D flip flop. Not AND gate, it is XOR gate. So using that, everything logic got generated. Okay. As I said, we have many number of CLBs. So tool will place one CLB. You can see my cursor, right? Tool will place one, will consume one CLB from this corner, or one CLB from here, or here, here, from anywhere he can choose, right? There is no restriction for that. But if you go for plan ahead will restrict tool to use CLBs from a certain certain periphery. You can give tool as a constraint, you use the CLBs from this block only, from this constraint only. So that's how the plan ahead need to be used. But actually plan ahead is not required at all, because nowadays tools are so powerful that it will take care of everything. If you go for plan ahead, it is very good, but while using plan ahead, it will come with so many different type of things. Like you have to manage clock routing by your own. Let's say if you have two clocks in your design, so your clock is coming from, let's say, this side, and another clock is coming from this side, and you have restricted your design to be uh, taken CLBs from one certain region, and clock is not following properly, and then you are stuck. You don't know what to do now, right? So for H tree, so in each FPGA there is some H tree. By H tree only clock will follow H tree path. There is H inside FPGA. H to H, H to H is connected like that, and all clock input are following like that. But if you break that chain, your design will never going to work, and you will get to infinite loop. What is going to happen? You don't. So for that, to use that plan aid, you must need to check each and every object very clearly, very thoroughly. And believe me, it is not a 1 day or 2 day job to use, and for a certain project to use that plan ahead and do that. First of all, it is not required at all. But if you are following in some different kind of issue, you must go to that. It is like that, right? But tool will take care for everything. So that's why nowadays tool are so powerful. So it will do everything for you. So okay, I'm done here. So if you have any questions, I hope you have got all answers for plan aid. Sorry, I forgot your name. Where I question. Okay, so anybody has any question?
So can you repeat the question that you asked us to do about the LED intensity?
Very good. Yes, just now, just a minute. So this PWM code I have sent to you, everything. So what you want to do, you take one push button, and this counter, this duty cycle, you need to increment one by one. Means let's say you press that button one time, this count will increase by 1. Again, if you press that, your counter will increase by 2, like that, and that counter you pass it on to this duty cycle. With that, you will find your intensity will increase till maximum number. What you have, maximum number 255. So your intensity goes on increase, and once that counter goes roll over, it will goes on decrease. It will suddenly decrease. So 255 you will come to 0, right? So it will decrease suddenly. So that's how you will come to see that. Once you are okay with that, then you implement 3 PWM generator and give all 3 input to RGB LED. Sorry, give all 3 output to RGB LED. With that, you will find so many different color you can generate automatically, right? So that is the thing you want to do as early as possible. Once you start working, you will find this is so interesting why you are using controller. I'm sure. There are so many applications are like that, where you cannot think for controller at all. For example, if you want to generate 2 or 3 pulses, let's say 6 pulses you want to generate for a MOSFET in SMPS, they need 6 pulses for MOSFET. So how it works? Okay, in MOSFET like this, 6 pulses we need to generate, and edge to edge. So with that edge, next pulse will on, like that we have to generate. And Okay, let me explain again. So in SMPS, what they want to do, so let's say this is one pulse, and this pulse is given to one MOSFET. With that, another pulse is there, and this pulse they want to give to another MOSFET. And if there is a delay between this pulse, this and this pulse, for at least 1 microsecond or below 1 microsecond, so that MOSFET going to burn out for sure. So that at a time, if two MOSFET goes on, so there is some edge bridge kind of operation. So with that, MOSFET goes burn on. So to prevent that, we need to give this kind of pulses as near as possible, means as edge to edge we have to give to that pulses. So how much minimum delay you can achieve with controller? If I use this Spartan 6, I can go for 5 nanosecond accuracy. Give me any kind of controller in world whatever present, give me 5 nanosecond of accuracy, it is not possible at all. So this kind of operations, this kind of problems when comes, there is no alternative for FPGA, right? You must have to go for FPGA only at that time. So this is just one example I am given. So like that, there are n number of examples are there where you must have to use FPGA only. There is no alternative for FPGA. That's why it is so important, and it is you may feel it is very difficult, but believe me, it is not. Once you start working, once you explore that, it is very very powerful tool, very good to do everything in that. For sure you will find why we want to use controller. Okay, any question till now? Means what you want to ask, Ninath? For sure we can use industrial embedded system. Can you explain this? What do you mean by industrial embedded system? Actually, for defense and military, they are preferring FPGA only. If you see any kind of missiles or any kind of bomb or this kind of equipment, they have done everything by using FPGA only, for sure. See why? There they want to achieve delay in nanosecond. They want to achieve delay in nanosecond only. So to achieve this kind of precise delay, they cannot go for controller. That's why they go for FPGA only, and there are different grade for that. Military grade FPGA they called, and they are so much costly, very costly, and so they want to use that only. Every missiles, every kind of high-end equipment, they are built with FPGA.
Ninal, let me tell you, because we have been working with the defense sector also, and most of our customers, person who has bought the FPGAs are from defense. Okay, but I can't tell you the names, but most of our FPGAs has been used in defense. Okay, so you take any companies like defense, they are using FPGAs to achieve their all those required applications. And we have been supplying our FPGAs to defense also, which we have not mentioned the names in our PPTs, but we have been working with defense with many projects in that. Yeah, Nishan, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, so this is like that. And for small home automation, yeah, definitely. Let's say in your home, you want to control 20 or let's say 50 number of applications. Everything you want to control. So you will need to use 2, 3, or 4, 5 different kind of controller for that, right? But instead of that, you use only one FPGA. You will get 100 IOs. Done. Everything is done in one FPGA. Why need to go for a different FPGA, different kind of controller, synchronize their thing together, and then if you go for like that, there are different number of problems also there for synchronizing, right? So instead of that, if you go for a small home kind of automation using FPGA, that can be done. So why don't you take a project for this and for a small home automation, Ninad? Okay, for difference between CPLD and FPGA, like CPLD is very small. Small means it is built for some small kind of application, and it is flash base. Flash base means if you program CPLD, there it has inbuilt flash, so that program goes stay in that flash. You no need to program again and again. Once you program, it is there. But it is not like FPGA. FPGA is SRAM based technology actually. So CPLD is built for small applications, and FPGA is built for bigger application. So this is how the CPLD and FPGAs are there. But yeah, definitely if you want to achieve 5 nanosecond kind of accuracy, you cannot go for CPLD. CPLD generally work with 10 nanosecond and 20 nanosecond accuracy kind of thing. Yes, why not? Spartan 6 can be used for image processing application and algorithms. Yes, it can be used. So see, it is not like you might have used FPGA that 8051, heard that you might have in syllabus also, right? So people are using 8051 from 90s, but still it is in there, and still people are using that, and so many product built on 8051. But and still people are using that. So same way, there is no higher end FPGA, lower end FPGA, and this Spartan 6 and Spartan 3. It is not like that. So how to choose FPGA? It is depend on your need. If you want to do the just this relay operation and home automation kind of thing, Spartan 2, Spartan 3 is also okay for that, right? It is not you need RTX or you need Spartan 6 series. No, any FPGA is good for that. Lower end FPGA is also okay for that. So that's why you need to understand the technology. FPGA is the just a very high level word. You need to understand that first. There is no high end FPGA and lower end FPGA. FPGA is FPGA. That's it. Higher end means they might have some different kind of they have inbuilt ADC, they have inbuilt DAC, inbuilt DSP controller, like that everything is there. So can FPGA used for DSP yes, many FPGAs, this Spartan 6 also has DSP slices. So DSP slices, and you can definitely use that DSP slices for your algorithms and things. Cryptography, what is that? I don't understand. Can you explain this cryptography? Shivam, can you just tell what is this cryptography? You have seen that banner printing machines, right? So very big banners, birthday, this birthday, that birthday, and uh, he's coming, welcome for him. Like that, big banners are there. If you anyone see that machine? Believe me, in the world, no machine like that for that banner printing is built on controller. All that kind of machines are built with FPGA only. There are so many different things in that, and everything need parallel operation.
Nishant, your voice is breaking.
Okay.
My voice is breaking.
Yeah, so this kind of machines need parallel operations every time, so that's why they used FPGA only. Yes, this cryptography also can be used on FPGA. Like AES encryption, decryption, those kind of things are very popular, and they test on FPGA first. It is there. Yeah, you can use that. Okay, guys, I think we're at timeout. If you have any questions, just let me know. We can discuss. Parameshwar?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, I think we can conclude for today.
Any questions, guys? I think only video of that 4-bit. I request all the participants to send me that videos. If not in the group, at least you send me individually. And I want all the participants to use it. Tomorrow, please join the session at the same time. Any other questions? Any other questions? Waiting for the questions. If not, I will end the session in another 30 seconds. Tomorrow, same time, 7:30. I request all the participants to submit me their 4-bit counter video at least by tomorrow afternoon. Any other questions? Yeah, thanks, Nishant. Thanks,
Yeah,
Sridhar.
thank you.
Thank you, all the participants.
Yeah, thank you. Bye bye. Good night.